Alright, so welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we are going to be looking at a challenge called majority element. So this is our 30 days Python coding challenge, where we have a challenge every day, Monday to Friday for 6 weeks, and you have the weekend to catch up with any challenge that you are behind on. So a majority element in an array of size n is an element that appears more than half of the size of the array. So it will appear more than n divided by 2 times. So we're going to just first input an integer, then the next number we want to impute in that sense. So first thing, we are having an integer, and after we have an integer, we are going to have the elements of this array. And after we have the elements of this array, next thing we are going to do is impute the other print majority. If majority exists, we print it, else no majority exists. So these are the sample periods that we have. So pause this video and give it a try. Then without further ado, let's dive into coding. So as usual, I'm going to have our int right here, then impute, then enter number of elements. Alright. Then I'm just going to say array is equals to list, then map. So don't forget, what map does is perform a function on iterables. So we're having some iterables right here. So I'm going to say enter elements right here. So I'm just collecting these elements that are spaced, separated, and I'm splitting them. Alright, so that is my array. Right here, I want to have two types of variable. I want to have a candidate. So now, this candidate is this candidate is going to hold the majority element. Then a count is going to count the occurrence of this element itself. So candidate right here, then count. So I want to set my candidate to none and my count by default to 0. Right. So now let's look through our array. So we can maximize this now to focus on coding. So for num in array. So for num in array now, if count is equals to 0, I'll just say candidate count is equals to num, then 1. Then elif if num is equals to candidate. So if my num now is equals to candidate, I just want to increment the count plus equal 1. Then else I want to decrement the count minus equal 1. Alright, so what are we doing here? So what we are doing here at every point in time to check if count is still 0. If count is still 0, we want to set the count to 1 and the candidate to 1. So if the next number we are having is the same thing as the candidate that we have, we want to increment the count. Otherwise, we want to decrement the count itself. So we're going to have a step 2 right here. And what we're going to do in this step 2 now is to check if this count is greater than n divided by 2. So if array dot count, then candidate itself. So when we count our candidate now, so if array dot count candidate now is greater than n divided by 2. So what are we going to do if array dot count is greater than n divided by 2? We're going to go ahead and say print out candidate right there, then else we just want to go ahead and print out no majority elements. Okay, no majority elements exist. Alright, so this is what we're having. So here we call your first familiar with this two lines of code. If you have been following, this coding challenge. And if you've not watched the previous ones, make sure you go back and watch them. They are wonderful tutorials that's going to help improve your coding skills. Here now. Alright, so candidate now counts. So here now we are checking, we are looking through this array. Then at every point in time we are updating our count and at times our norm. So if it's the first time, if our count is 0, we set the candidate and we set the count to 1. Then otherwise we increment the count if the number and the candidate is still the same thing. Then otherwise we decrement it. So let's just run this and see. The rest I'm working with an element of 5. And now I'm having 2, 4, 5, 3, 2. No majority elements exist. Right. So let me go ahead and run this again. 5 again. I'm having 2, 3, 2, 4, 2. 2 is the majority element because this exists 2 times, like 3 times, right, which is more than average a half of 5 itself. So we can see how that plays out well and how that's worked well. So yeah, that's the end of today's challenge. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Code With You, for more videos like this. Bye bye. See you in the next video.